So welcome to another video. In this one, I want to go over something I spoke already, like I don't know, 1 week to 2 weeks ago, which was the in-game stats. But there's a bit of a slightly difference because there's some like I just figured out or discovered a thing that wasn't expected. So I was watching one of Gun's videos. I will show it in screen, and in this one he talks about how he made some tests and figure out that attack increases artifact and pet damage. When I heard that, for me that was a big surprise because like for me initially on the calculations, attack increases normal attack, counter attack damage, and then skill damage, but does not benefit the pet or the artifact. Kinda like it will be on Rise of Kingdoms, so it was a bit like, okay, like I just follow the logic of Rise of Kingdoms, which is you wanna have like you don't wanna go like for example over 200. Well, I explained it all in the other video, okay? But pretty much after hearing that, it was like, wait, hold on, is this real? Like maybe it's just that he got some better traits sometimes or something, and it was like, let me ask CS. So I did, and here you can check the answer. So in theory, attack benefits all damage output of your march. So it benefits your counter, your normal attack, your skill damage, your pet, and your artifact damage. Now this for me changes a lot of my calculations, okay? The baseline is still functional, the same as said in the other video. If you have way more defense than health, you want to equalize your health to your defense. And if you have way more health than defense, you want to equalize your defense towards your health. Now here's the difference. For me now, attack has increased a lot of value. So let's say for example, I don't know, let me pull a march of mine and let's see the stats. For Ondil Theodore, Legion buffs, so we have 26% attack, well I mean it will be a combination of those, but anyways, let's use the Legion values. Legion attack 56%, Legion defense 56%, Legion HP 26%, okay? So what will I look to be doing here? Okay, let's say for example I'm running 5k marches and I'm using the Wolf Mask, which gives HP, okay? I could look to put the Wolf Mask in this march to bring up that HP up so it gets equal to their defense, so my defense is min-maxed, and like let's say for example I can reach 56 defense, 56 HP with my like without knowing that it increases artifact and pet damage. I'd say probably like we're looking at 142% attack, so I'd say it'll probably bring up higher the defense, but considering attack increases like all your damage output, in this case now with this new information, what I suggest is you try to bring your HP and defense, like whatever is higher is your like the point that you're aiming for, so you bring the other step to pair with it. Once that's achieved, you look for attack. If you go over 300 attack, probably it's like extremely low value, okay? But I'd say even for Call of Dragons, above 200 attack is still valuable because it increases artifact and pet damage, okay? So yeah, that's my new recommendation. Again, in this case for this match, I'd be looking to have 56% HP, so those both are equal, and then I'd go for attack to increase even further my damage output, especially for cavalry. Now, let's say you're playing, for example, infantry, okay? Yes, you might have like, I don't know, 120% attack and like 60% defense, 60% HP. In that case, I'd say bring up the defense and then bring up the HP, so they're still in pairs, okay? Now, this creates a bit of a situation where we need to talk about runes on the map and we need to talk about artifacts. So in my tier list, for example, I put that Swordland's Blade was like a very good, like I don't know if I said A or S tier. I made the special mention that this is mainly for one cavalry march and mainly if you're hitting gatherers or something behind, because this Legion march speed is clutch because it allows you to drone any other cavalry that maybe is using like, I don't know, Kingslayer, Spring Feathers, any artifact that has double attack, okay? But now for me, artifacts that give double attack have gone a lot in value, okay? Don't get me wrong, if I were running like 5 marches of cavalry, maybe for my Frondil Theodore, I probably, and I want to use like a Wolf Mask, I probably put it here, because there's a big disparity between my HP and my defense, okay? But every single other hero is going with attack artifacts, okay? Now, we need to make some more recalculations. Let's check the stats here. So we have 31% Legion defense, okay? We have 26 HP. Now you'd say, wow, this is super even, that's great. No, that's kind of wrong. Why? Because Bakshi gives you here 20% extra HP for 5 seconds, and being cowardly, you're having this pretty much all the time without upkeep. So, like, we're looking more at having 46% HP. So now for this March, ideally, we go with a defense rune, okay? We go with a defense rune, because that will bring us, like, let's say it's a 10%, that brings us to 41, we're only 5% difference, or defense is min-max. Now, here comes the problem. If we increase defense, here we get a larger gap. So if you're trying to really min-max the performance of your marches with stats, again, you'd probably put, like, for example, a wolf mask or something that gives HP on this march, and then you grab, for example, a defense runes for your Bakshi, okay? Now, what's the issue? I'm not putting a wolf mask on this march, no matter the stats, because Spring's Blades is just perfect for this march, okay? There's marches that have artifacts that just work too well. This works like further attack, okay, with passion, okay? Like, so again, my recommendation, grab all your marches, check the stats, try maybe if you can to swap some artifacts around to see that your defense and HP is kind of equal. If you have like, and again, you need to take into consideration things like this, okay? This 20% HP, because Cavalry just is rushing, instant skill proc, you get 5%. This march has so much rage that I'm telling you, like maybe I have 2 seconds of downtime on this HP, okay? So again, I'm not really looking at an HP of 26. I'm looking at an HP of 46. If I get the Awakening, it's 56. So in this case, what this march is lacking is defense, okay? So you need to play around with that if you really want to min max. I get it, and most people probably don't want to do this. And then again, what rune do we pick? So let's say, for example, you're running 5k marches, and in 3 of them you have less defense than HP. Then I'd probably say pick the defense, because overall it will benefit you more. Same goes with HP. Now let's say you figure out a combination with your artifacts, okay, and your heroes that kind of evens out the stats, even like 10% up, 10% down. Then you can consider going with an attack rune. And in this game, I think it might be worth it. In Rise of Kingdoms, for example, HP rune is always the best. In this one, because attacking actually increases the artifact damage and the pet damage, like, it has a lot of value. Like, for me in this game right now, like, let's say, for example, they introduce a system like armaments in Rise of Kingdoms, where you can kind of pick and choose the stats you want to have in your march. What I will do in that case is literally make my defense and my HP even. Once I'm done with that, I'm going full in on attack, probably not surpassing the, I don't know, 250% mark, okay? Because if it follows the same formula than Rise of Kingdoms, I need to check this again, but I'm pretty sure above 200 or 250, every single point extra in attack was giving extremely low value, okay? Like, extremely low value. So if it follows the same, I'd say probably above 250% attack, then pump the defense, but otherwise go with attack. It's gonna give you so much damage output that it's gonna be crazy, okay? So yeah, this is the freshest information I got. Because I have the old video, I decided to make this one clarifying these few points, because I do believe are important, okay? But the baseline of the other video stands. Your defense and HP, the more similar they are each other in numeric values, the better your defense of the march will perform. And I know a lot of people are just, I just want to attack. It's nice to deal a lot of damage, but again, because of diminishing returns, because you stack more attack, the amount of damage like, it's not linear. It's not like 1% of attack increases like 10 damage factor. Maybe from 1 to 100 it increases 10 damage factor, but from 100 to 200 it only increases 5. And from 200 to 300 it only increases 1.5, okay? Meanwhile, you could be pumping your defense and your HP, that all, like, at the end what matters is the report, okay? When I check my reports, for example, okay? Like, I don't know. Okay, like, for example, here, 22k merits. Okay, I don't know, let me see somewhere where I got, okay, 39k here. This is what you care for. Taking less seb wounds, so you need to heal less, and inflict the maximum pain on the enemy for a lot of seb wounds. Maybe if I went full attack, this number would be like 50k, but then here I have 25k. The ratio on the trait is not there. Meanwhile, if I increase my defense, I reduce a lot my wounds. Yes, surely, maybe I don't increase, like, I don't deal as much severely wounded, but it allows me to keep fighting for longer, okay? Check my buffs. I have 31.7% HP, okay, and I have 61% defense. I don't know why, well, I probably missed some stats in the other screen, but yeah, again, here we are 20%, I'm looking at 51.7, I'm just missing 10%, so maybe, look, in both cases, I'm looking, for example, at a defense rune, I'm looking at an HP rune, okay, you need to play with this. And again, like, the formula is that, it's not gonna change, but yeah, see you in the next one.